Hey, it's Music Moves Mo.
Hey, this is Larissa Almeida.
And today we're going to talk about solo journey of dance. And I want to start by introducing Larissa as the first teacher I've actually ever heard about in Zouk. My first bachata central instructor was showing me some moves and was like, hey, look at these moves, carousel, and showing me some of the moves that she'd done. I was like, wow, this is amazing. Maybe one day I'll learn. So really excited to have you here. Thanks for taking the time. Can you maybe tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, who are you and your journey with dance?
Of course. First of all, thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure for me to be here as well. It's really nice that we started this friendship. I didn't even know about this, about you knowing about me before. So it's really cool to see that we're here today. So, my name is Larissa Almeida. I usually introduce myself as Larissa because people have this hard time pronouncing my name. But if you want to have a special place in my heart, say Larissa, because that's the Brazilian way of saying. But anyways, I'm from the countryside of São Paulo. And now I'm living here. But I started my dance journey basically in the countryside as well when I was around 8 years old. That was, I think, my first contact ever with dance, but was with solo dance. I started with ballet. I was very young. I always liked to dance. And then my mom introduced me to ballet, put me into ballet classes. I loved ballet. I loved doing it. And then after a few years into ballet, my mom got divorced and she always wanted to learn how to dance. But because of my dad at the time, he wasn't really interested in dance. So she never actually took any dance classes. But once she got divorced, she was like, okay, this is the moment that I'm going to do dance classes now. And then she started to go to social Brazilian partner dance. Forró, samba, bolero, and etc. And I had to go with her because I was, how do you say, minor? I was like menor de idade.
Too young.
Yeah, I was too young. So I couldn't stay at home alone. So I used to go with her, but used to not like it. For me, that was something that only old people would do. Like social partner dance. I was like, Jesus, why am I going to dance with someone else? Like, don't touch me. So I was just watching just on my phone and interacting here and there, but nothing really got my interest in dance. And after many weeks going to the classes with my mom, the teacher, he was like, come on, you're gonna enjoy it. Like, do a class, you're gonna enjoy it. Just do a little bit. I was like, no. But then one day I kind of gave up on my stubbornness and I took this class. My first class was a samba de gafieira class. And I loved it because it felt like a game for me. You step here, you step there, and then you move. And then, yeah, this is right. Good job, blah, blah, blah. And I started to find some enjoyment in it. So then I started weekly go with my mom to these dance classes and learn different rhythms. And people were so friendly. They were so warm and welcoming when I started. Even though I was super young, they would all talk to me. So I felt really nice being in the dance community. Yeah. So I kept going. I kept doing classes. Then I started to learn with a teacher from a different city. And he used to come to a neighbor city of mine, to a neighbor city to teach. And he used to love Zouk. Until there, I haven't really heard of Zouk, but he used to love Zouk. And he introduced us all, the group, right, to Zouk. And we started taking classes, but it wouldn't be every week. It would kind of rotate. And the first time that I actually heard and saw Zouk, it was with the traditional song, which I didn't really like, more the boom, chick, chick and stuff. I wasn't really interested. But then at the time, that was, I think, 2014, 2013, something like that. He mentioned about Zouk Black, that you dance listening to songs that are R&B. And it was the songs that I used to listen at the time. So that hooked me to Zouk. That hooked me to, oh my gosh, I can actually dance to the songs that I like. Because Forró, you don't dance to songs that you like. You dance to Forró music. Samba, you dance to samba music. Bolero, you dance. Everything had its own music. But when I saw that in Zouk, you could do it differently, that triggered my interest. And then I started doing Zouk and started loving it. My mom kind of didn't like so much because it was more challenging for her. But all the other dances, she loved it. And we developed this really nice relationship as well because we used to go to socials weekly and schools to hang out, to dance. And then I started leading to dance with her. So me and my mom, we had this amazing phase together where we would just go out, dance, do classes together, chat, go eat. So I'm also really, really thankful for her for have introduced me and have gone through this journey with me. That's basically how I started. Then my mom stopped taking classes and I kept going. And then after some time, at this moment, I had already met Louis. That is my ex-partner. And we started to go to São Paulo because of a dance company. There's this person in dance for me that I speak so highly every time I speak about her, because for me, she is an example of woman, of dancer, of teacher. She is just amazing in everything she does. That is Rubia Frutuoso. I was always a big fan of her. And I saw this advertisement to be part of her company and I went crazy. I was like, what? Am I going to have the chance of learning with someone that is so amazing? Me from the countryside that had just started Zouk, basically, So I went, did the audition, I passed, and then I joined her company. And it was, for me, one of the biggest moments of my dance journey, where it really inspired me to work, to achieve, to be dedicated, to think a lot about dance, which was something that before, because it started as a game, it started as something fun. So she inspired me a lot to see dance a little bit differently, to see dance as a way to get to know yourself, to see dance as something that would challenge you on your skills, kind of like an athlete, because athletes, they're always challenging themselves. It requires more dedication. It's not just fun, right? So it kind of brought me this maturity of dance, which I'm also very, very grateful for. And yeah, this is my journey on how I started dancing Zouk. And after that, I never stopped dancing, never stopped being interested in Zouk. But then my journey started with teaching Zouk.
Teaching Zouk?
Yeah. After have joined the company, we had done a few shows, a few performances, and we got to this point where we had, me and my ex-partner, Louis, we had our video kind of blown out in the social media. We got a lot of views of a video of us just improvising. And we started to receive invitations to teach out of Brazil, teach in Europe, teach in the United States. And for me, it wasn't really anything that I wanted to do. It wasn't really anything that I thought about doing before. It's not like I've always dreamt of traveling and teaching. It just naturally happened. Because until then, I was in high school. So I was finishing high school and I didn't really know what to do, because I was already kind of low key working with dance, but it wasn't like, I want to work with dance. This is going to be my main job and my life and whatever. But then I was finishing high school and then I started to receive these invitations. And then I had the choice of staying in Brazil and then choosing whatever college would be that I had no idea. Maybe something like logistics, that was what I was doing at the time when I was doing high school. Or I don't know what else it could have been. Or I had the chance of choosing to start traveling and teaching, which, right? I wanted to get to know places. I wanted to get out of Brazil. I wanted to know other cultures. So for me, that was an amazing opportunity. And then we started touring for a few months and it was amazing. But then pandemic happened on my first tour. So we had to come back. It was kind of desperate. Yeah. So pandemic happened. We were trapped in London. We almost lost one of the last flights to come back to Brazil, but we finally got back. And then that was it, right? We had traveled a little bit, but there was no more work because everything was shut down. So we had kind of to figure it out, a different way to work with dance. That's when we had the idea of producing online courses. And that's when we got into the online business, which was really, really rich in a lot of senses for me. I learned so much, and they are completely different skills of what a dance teacher needs to have. Because when you are traveling and teaching, basically your work is you talk with the organizers, you set everything up, you show up, you teach, you make yourself available for students, you teach privates, but that's pretty much it. All the marketing, all the strategy of everything, you kind of don't think that much because you're just going with the flow of being hired, you know? So once we started working on online projects, it was completely different and was extremely overwhelming, super, super challenging. But as I said, super rewarding as well because I learned so many things.
Mm-hmm.
So learning how to record, learning how to edit, learning how to market yourself, learning which platform you need to have to host your courses. What is the process that the person is going to have to do to, okay, I saw this video. I'm interested in this course. How do I do to buy it?
Mm-hmm.
Every copywriting, so many things that
Mm-hmm.
you don't think about when
Mm-hmm.
you were a dance teacher.
Sure.
And it's kind of a shame because especially nowadays, I feel that everyone should think about those things because no matter what, you're gonna find yourself in the place of making sure that you show people yourself through social media because everyone is in social media. So it is a great tool for dance teachers, especially people that are autonomous, right? Once you're working in a business, in a company, you don't have to worry about marketing yourself. You're already there. But us as dance teachers, if we don't do the job ourselves, it's not like forever we're going to get work. So you do need to also work. You need to learn how to sell yourself, how to show that what you have is unique and why people should get that. But a lot of people don't think about this. They just think about showing up and teaching and that's it. I feel that there are so many dance teachers now, so many dance teachers in the world, which is amazing. But it's so important that we also, as we were talking a little bit before, to show what are your skills? What makes you unique, you know? And I feel that we did a great job with our online courses showing the things that makes us unique. So I'm really grateful for that phase working with online courses because nowadays I can use this for myself and I can hopefully help other people, other teachers that are interested in building their own brand online.
Okay. So far what I'm hearing is you started off dancing when you were young. You were accompanying your mother. And from there, you explored all the different types of social ballroom dances. And it was a good bonding experience. From there, you started to discover Zouk. You had the opportunity to join wonderful dance troupe. From there, you learned as well as teaching. You got virality. You got the option to travel. The pandemic happened. From there, you learned how to build your own brand. Can you tell me a little bit more about what you're doing nowadays? Like what are you up to these days?
So nowadays, I am still kind of focusing a little bit more on the online aspect of my work. I do have an online community because this is what fed me when I was traveling. I was traveling for some time in the US, and then I had this period where I had a group of followers only, and I was teaching them for 2.5 months approximately. Being in between those followers, teaching them, getting in touch to know what they needed, how were they feeling with themselves or with their dance, and having their energy coming back to me while we had that moment together was really, really special, which was something that I really missed. And I missed from dance classes as well, because when you were teaching dance classes, no matter if they're workshops, no matter if they're congresses, you don't have that much of a proximity with your students, right? Because it's usually you give a little bit of information, then you leave. You give a little bit of information, then you leave. And once you stay and you build a connection with the people that you're working with, that completely changes as well, the way that you interact with them. And that was what happened with me. I had this online courses, then I had contact with the students, but it's not the same as when you are building that for longer, when you have a more direct contact. And then I had the idea of trying to make that online, but different than the online courses that are already there. That was not only working on something that was dance technique, not working only on something that was movements, because I also think that for you to be a good dancer, there are so many other aspects of yourself that you can work on.
Okay.
So when I started my solo journey as a teacher, I noticed that other things are important as well. So for example, I know that self-care for me is something extremely important. And I'm not saying only self-care, like, oh, take care of my skin, take care of how I look outside, but how's my mental health? Am I happy? Do I know who I am? Do I know what I want? Do I know what is important to me? Do I know what I like to do? Do I know the things that I don't like to do? Kind of just basically getting to know yourself and taking care of yourself. Because a lot of times we go to dance and we accept things that not necessarily we reflect on it. So maybe I'm going to have a dance that I'm there, but I didn't really want to be there. But why I'm letting myself be there? Because me, myself, I didn't learn how to set boundaries. So this is a way of self-care, right? Setting boundaries. And so many things that are not taught in dance classes, because dance classes are focused on a leader and a follower role, a moment where you're learning a technique, a concept, or a movement, which is based on this interaction of touch, right? But there's nothing here. There's rarely something here. So mindset shifts that you can have as a dancer in order to be able to improve. So maybe one mindset shift that could help someone improve would be, okay, I'm taking dance classes. I'm doing the job of working on my technique, on my movement, on all these concepts. But am I really analyzing myself when I'm doing those classes? Or I'm just there listening in, reproducing it. So self-analysis is something that a lot of people lack. And it's something that I actually learned when I was in the dance company, to like look at myself and see that what I'm doing, it's actually correct for what is expected at that moment, right? Because correct is subjective. But so, or for example, not have the mindset where I'm constantly comparing myself. It's so easy. You go to social media or you go to dance classes and you start to compare yourself to the teacher, or you start to compare yourself to this other advanced dancer, but you had no idea of the story of that person. You know nothing about them. You just see them doing something really good. You think you suck on doing that thing that they're doing, and you start to depreciate yourself, you know? So this is something that oftentimes stop a lot of people. And I know because I've compared myself many times. I wanted to get all these things that are not worked on dance classes, but are needed for you to be a good dancer, and put this inside of a community where the followers would still feel comfortable talking about things. They would feel that it's kind of like a sisterhood, you know, like you have your friends and you have your dance friends. I want it all to be the same thing. I wanted us to be able to talk about things that bother us. I wanted us to be able to talk about things that makes us happy. I wanted us to be able to learn with each other, to learn the concepts of dance, yes, but also learn how to take care of ourselves, how to set boundaries for ourselves when we are in any type of environment. So my goal with this community was to bring all of that together so we could all feel more close to each other. Because a lot of times the dance journey can feel quite lonely. And if you don't know people, if you don't know the language, it's kind of hard for you to, connect. But once you're part of something that you can communicate with them at any time, anywhere, it doesn't matter where you are, that makes more sense. That is more feasible. That's more fulfilling, because you will know that you always have somewhere there, someone there.
Is there a piece of advice or maybe a mindset exercise to help someone out there who might have a hard time saying no, that might have a difficulty with setting boundaries, that maybe you could walk us through?
Yeah. This is a tough topic, because a lot of people, I understand both perspectives, right? I understand the perspective of someone that is a student, but I also understand of someone that is a teacher and kind of have the responsibility of, guiding the students to always be interacting with everyone. But essentially, what I would say is that no matter your answer, if you're not truly aligned with what you're feeling, if I'm feeling a big, big no in my heart and inside of me, and I'm saying yes, that means that for you, the experience is going to be a no. It's going to be a terrible experience, because I'm not going to be able to be there. So I know that it might sound difficult to say no. I know that because I had this difficulty as well in the past of saying no to dances. If you're not able to say yes fully because you want to be doing that, then it's going to be terrible for you, because you're going to be putting yourself in a position where you don't actually want to be in. And it's going to be not so good for the other person, because we as human beings, we sense energy, right? I feel that some people, they have this more accurate, some people has less sensitivity to this, but we do feel energy. So if I'm here, but I don't want to be here, you're going to feel that. And the dance is the same thing. So I would say, even though if it hurts, even though if you think that the person might not take you well, and they might think that you are someone that is very, how do you say, someone that full of yourself?
Okay.
Even if they think that you're full of yourself because you said no, you're going to be feeling good about doing something that you actually wanted to do.
I feel bad when I don't dance with new people, but I don't often have a strong yes, I'm going to dance with a new person, especially a beginner, because I find that the joy of learning Zouk and improving your technique is you can reach these newer heights of just pleasure, of sensation, texture,
Yeah.
you know? So like, I imagine that the better and better you get at Zouk, someone who's has, let's say, 15 plus years experience just dancing partner dance. Yeah. What if there's never a strong yes? What if it's pretty much like, what if it's just like, nah? You know what I mean? Like, what about the community? What about the growth of Zouk? You know, like, yeah. I don't expect you to have a good answer here, but what are your thoughts on this?
Ooh. I would say there's always a way to find enjoyment, even if that enjoyment's not necessarily on the other person, right? Let's say that an extremely beginner asked me to dance with them, and I started to feel the dance. And because I'm a teacher, I go really often to this mindset of like, okay, this person is doing the basic like this. It's leading me like that. Y, X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. So I start having this analytical mindset. And for me to not be there, for me to not think of the things that I already know, is to try to find enjoyment in other things. So also because we as human beings, when we find that something it's not good, it's so easy for us to go down this route. Oh, this is not good. Oh, but that is also terrible. Jesus Christ, this is horrific. You know? So we just go into this way down the hill that is just focusing on the negative. And then it's kind of you doing the hard work to see the opposite, to find little moments where you actually do find enjoyment. And maybe that's not about the other person at all. Maybe it's about the music. Maybe it's about the sensation you're having on the floor. Maybe it's about how you're feeling your body moving.
So tell me about the Goddess Circle.
The Goddess Circle, it's basically my life project right now. And it's a project that I'm really proud of because I know that dancing in general can be kind of lonely sometimes. So I envision creating this community, this online sisterhood. So people, any follower that is struggling with confidence, is struggling with their own technique, is struggling with going through things on the dance floor and not having anyone to talk about, struggling with not feeling good about themselves when they're dancing. So all these struggles that we go through when we're dancing or when we're learning, I wanted them to have a space where they can talk about it, first of all, where they can feel heard, where they can feel that they actually have someone to support and understand, because we're actually all going through the same thing, or there is someone that have been through the same thing and will know how to advise you, but have the support, and also to learn in general about dance, learn about themselves. So I bring dance classes about technique, about concepts, about mindsets, of head movements, of counterbalances, of turns, of footwork on confidence. And I also bring content that is going to help them to feel better about themselves. So I actually divided this community in 3 different categories. That is dance-related type of content, self-care type of content, and connection type of content. On the dance related, as I mentioned, we're going to learn anything related to dance in general. So technique, tutorials, styling, partner work, but how you can train that by yourself. On the self-care aspect, it's about boundaries. It's about you feeling confident about yourself on how to build this confidence. It is about even about the aesthetics, how you can take better care of your hair, which shoes you should wear to go dance. Basically talking about the social aspect. So how to say no, how to receive a no, and the connection part of this community. It's how you can connect to yourself, but also to the other people that are in this community, that I call them goddesses. So how to connect with these other goddesses. So you're going to have homeworks that you're going to maybe do with another person from the community. You are going to have exercises where you're going to make yourself questions to get to know yourself better and connect better to yourself. But all of that to help you feel better when you're dancing, for you to feel at your best, for you to feel confident, for you to know what you're doing, why you're doing, and for you to always be able to look for pleasure, for happiness in the dance floor, which sometimes we kind of don't have because something is lacking.
And do I need a partner partner for this, or can I do this by myself?
No, not at all. The Goddess Circle is exclusively for followers that are in the solo journey or that want to improve anything about their dance or about themselves.
But if I'm a follower and I'm by myself, like, how will I improve my following if I'm just, you know?
So there are different ways. I believe that one of them is solo training. So I do teach drills that you can do by yourself to improve maybe your basics, to improve your body rows. So I basically teach classes. I basically teach online workshops. We have recorded content, but we also have live meetings. So this way you can also meet with me and ask me questions about whatever you're thinking or needing to learn. But solo drills, there are text information about dance concepts and mindsets that you can apply mostly to your brain, not only your body, because a lot of times we think that learning dance is something that is only, by me doing something, but actually reflecting, talking, hearing about dance is something that will make you grow as a dancer as well. So there are audios that help with dance confidence or that will help you with your anxiety on the dance floor or that will help you to just be able to be present, because this is another skill as that a follower should have, to be really present. Sometimes because of everything that happens in our day, we cannot do that. So I try to bring tools that you can use in your day-to-day life. If that is video, if that is audio, if that is an article, if that's a quiz, if that is a homework, all of these different types of activities so you can apply that slowly into your week.
That sounds like a lot of resources to care. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you for taking the time to come on. Again, this is Larissa and it's Music Moves Mo. Make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Ciao.